Hey humans, welcome to Read to Me, Matt Dunn. I'm Matt Dunn, and I'm going to read to you. We're reading Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. It's getting really strange, like so strange it seems normal, right? Normal. Let me just turn this Yankee off. Got a little too much of that. Ooh, we are on chapter 33. You know what that means? 33 throat clears, coughs. That's one. Two. Okay, so let's just get on. I'll owe you 30 more. Let's just say, let's make it a cool 28. More than once did Elizabeth, in her ramble within the park. What park is this? Who are we? Why is she talking about a park always? Okay, unexpectedly meet. Okay, more than once did Elizabeth, in her ramble within the park, unexpectedly meet Mr. Darcy. She felt all the perverseness of the mischance that should bring him where no one else was brought, and to prevent its ever happening again, took care to inform him at first that it was a favorite haunt of hers. Haunt. Well, what is? Let's think about that. Is that a word of to hang? Do ghosts hang? Or do they haunt? Do they linger? Or do they haunt? What is this word haunt? Does she loom over this drooding place? Anyway, let's get on into it. So, how it could occur a second time, therefore, was very odd. Yeah, it did. And even the third. Okay, come on, he's trying really hard. It seemed like willful ill nature, or a voluntary penance. For on these occasions it was not merely few formal inquiries and an awkward pause and then away, but he actually thought it necessary to turn back and walk with her. He never said a great deal, nor did she give herself the trouble of talking or of listening much. But it struck her in the course of their third rencontre that he was asking some odd, unconnected questions about her pleasure in being at Hunsford, her love of solitary walks, her opinion of Mr. and Mrs. Collins's happiness, and that in speaking of Rosings and her not perfectly understanding the house, he seemed to expect that whenever she came into Kent again, she would be staying there too. His words seemed to imply it. Could he have Colonel Fitzwilliam in his thoughts? Could he have him in his thoughts? Two burly men laying by a fire. They both got money and women, but they just only themselves they desire. Could she supposed if he meant anything, he must mean an allusion to what might arise in that quarter. It distressed her a little, just a little, and she was quite glad to find herself at the gate of the Pales opposite the parsonage. Well then, Elizabeth has nothing else to do but to walk and run into this Mr. Darcy guy. She was engaged one day as she walked in perusing Jane's last letter and dwelling on some passage which proved that Jane had not written in spirits, when, instead of being again surprised by Mr. Darcy, she saw on looking up that Colonel Fitzwilliam was meeting her. Putting away the letter immediately and forcing a smile, she said, I did not know before that you ever walked this way. Walked this way. I have been making the tour of the park, he replied, as I generally do every year, and intend to close it with a call at the parsonage. Are you going much farther? No, I should have turned in a moment. And accordingly she did turn, and they walked toward the parsonage together. Do you certainly leave Kent on Saturday? Said she. Yes, if Darcy does not put it off again, but I am at his disposal. He arranges the business just as he pleases. And if not able to please himself in the arrangement, he has at least great pleasure in the power of choice. I do not know anybody who seems more to enjoy the power of doing what he likes than Mr. Darcy. Burn. He likes to have his own way very well, replied Colonel Fitzwilliam. But so we all do. It is only that he has better means of having it than many others, because he is rich, and many others are poor. I speak feelingly. A younger son, you know, must be inured to self-denial and dependence. Oh, in my opinion, the younger son of an earl can know every... This is like Elizabeth the First. In my opinion, the younger son of an earl can know very little of either. Now, seriously, what have you ever known of self-denial and dependence? When have you been prevented by want of money from going wherever you chose or procuring anything you had a fancy for? She's like making faces at him. Says so right here. Elizabeth makes face at the guy with the weird name. These are home questions. And perhaps I can say that I have experienced many hardships of that nature. But in matters of greater weight, I may suffer from the want of money. Younger sons cannot marry where they like, unless where they like women of fortune, which I think they very often do. Do they, though? Am I gonna argue this point? Whoa, this is quite the chapter. Our habits of expense make us too dependent. And there are not many in my rank of life who can afford to marry without some attention to money. Is this, thought Elizabeth, meant for me? And she colored at the idea, but recovering herself, said in a lively tone, "And pray, what is the usual price of an earl's younger son, unless the elder brother is very sickly? Excuse me. I suppose you would not ask above 50,000 pounds. He answered her in the same style, and the subject dropped, to interrupt a silence which might make him fancy her affected with what has passed. She soon afterwards said, I imagine your cousin brought you down with him chiefly for the sake of having somebody in his disposal. I wonder he does not marry to secure a last convenience of that kind, but perhaps his sister does as well for the present, and as she is under his sole care, he may do what he likes with her." Oh my God. Okay. I tell you what, I'm going to savor the flavor of this chapter, and we're going to make a part doso. I'm going to make a note right here. It says part 2 for you. Part 2 for you, home dog. Okay, so we're gonna end that chapter there. We're gonna pick that up tomorrow. This is an interesting chapter. It's just rubbing in what we already know. Darcy likes Elizabeth. Elizabeth is just curious about it all. Why though? She like him back? Of course she does. Who's this other guy? Fitzwilliam Geraldstein. What's his deal? Anyway, thanks for checking out this video. I hope you check out more of my videos. Give me a thumbs up if you like this one. Subscribe. You know, hanging loose, my G-monies. Alright, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, stay weird. Be weirder than me. Weird is cool. Weird. That's weird. You're weird. Sicko, weirdo, weird boy, weird. Oh my God, weird.